When you find yourself in an environment where all that you desire to do, incidentally, you cannot deliver them based on paucity of funds and other challenges, and then put it against the backdrop of the fact that you have limited time to make an impact. And for us, healthcare is such a strong enabler that we strongly believe that if it's not up and running, that many other things will collapse on our hands. Because you can't have somebody with $1 billion preparing to invest, and then suddenly he considers the fact that if his wife is sick or his child is sick, he wouldn't find any place to get medical care and all of that. So we first of all started with taking a stock of our areas of strength. What are those things we have in Abia State today that will form our baseline information based on which we build to deliver on our strategy and our goals. We inherited about 294 primary health care centers. A lot of them were not functional at the outset. We inherited a couple of secondary health care centers, the general hospitals located at the council headquarters in the various local governments. And then we have the Abia State Teaching Hospital as a tertiary health care facility. We also have FMC, which is a federal government health care facility. And then we have our Machara. So we looked at all of this and said, what is the emphasis of the federal government? Everybody is looking at primary health care, but you need to develop a strategy that can enable you encompass all of the policies of the federal government, just oppose it against what they are doing in the state to see if you can drive a vision to get health care for our people as quickly as possible. And our strategy was simple. Well, which members of our society would you regard as the vulnerable groups? We at the two extremes, the aged and then the mother and child. They are clearly the most vulnerable in our society. Unless you speak about war times, times of strife, and when you have headsmen molesting people and IDPs, begin to know, which by the spiritual grace of God has not been our lot in Abia State. So clearly our vulnerable groups are the aged, on the right extreme, and then mother and child. Abia today is perhaps the only state in this country that is running a geriatric medical outreach, completely free of charge, and dedicated to our elder statesmen 70 years and above. And we go to meet them in the communities in the comfort of their homes. And that geriatric outreach is also handled and run by an American-trained geriatric medical practitioner, Dr. Chuck from Iguano, who has done a pretty good job trying to reach our aged people, look at their blood pressure, look at their sugar level, look at their immediate needs, probably refer them to primary health care centers close by, or to the secondary health care centers at the council headquarters, and at times cancel them. So we have an outreach for road traffic accidents, because if somebody is a road traffic accident victim, he or she supposedly at that point of incidence will be helpless. And even if you're a multi-millionaire, you will be helpless and you can't do anything. So we have ambulances on the highway that are picking people from those highways and then taking them to nearby hospitals. Ultimately, we intend to, before the end of the year, commission our trauma center, which is a specialist hospital dedicated to trauma victims, accident victims on our highways. We're operating with about 6 or 7 ambulances, and we intend to scale up and make sure we cover all our highways with that. But beneath all of this, there needs to be interconnectivity. How do you relate between primary health care center to the secondary, to the emergency service, through to the ambulances on the highway, and then up until the secondary and tertiary institutions, which is the apex or the research center. So we need a strong ICT backbone, and that was what led to Abia telehealth initiative. So we have a telehealth initiative where the most important and most popular product today in Abia is the Dial a Doc initiative. What it means is that if you scratch the card, a number will reveal itself, and you can dial that number and you'll be on to a competent medical doctor for advice. You can't do much about trade and commerce unless you're able to move goods and services from one location to the other. So you must mainstream road infrastructure. And in mainstreaming road infrastructure, it became very easy for us to prioritize. We're no longer doing roads for political patronage. In fact, as I speak, the road to my village is one of the slowest in terms of delivery because there's no big market in my village. Despite the fact that my village is a route through which you can go to Akwa Ibom, there's no big market. But I have spent so much money opening up the road to Area. The reason is that Area has 130,000 shops, and you can't ignore people doing business 130,000 shops. Meanwhile, Abia and Umuahia seems to be at the confluence of Southeast and South states. You cannot do anything around the economy of these states without speaking to Area and Abia and Umuahia. You know, and then having said this much, I want to say that we have redefined the paradigm for infrastructural development in Abia. Today, it's no longer fashionable to do roads without drainage in Abia, courtesy of what we tried to do. We pioneered cement pavement technology here because we understand the topography of our area. And because we run a research-based government, we want to make sure that some of the things we do are essentially fallouts of deep thinking and some research of some sort. Abia is at the sump of Abia State. So if it is at the sump of Abia State, whatever you do here, you must be able to recognize that water will sit on the road. And if you want to take away the water that will sit on the road, you must also be able to create drainages through which the water will find its way to wherever it will end. So within the first 100 days, we started by dredging the river, knowing that all the storm water will be connected through drainages into that river. People did not understand why we started by dredging the river. But in every reaction, there must be a starting point. And that was what we did. But today, I thank God that our strategy to, first of all, deal with all the roads, or most of the roads that lead into Abia, followed by most of the roads that lead into what I call our economic nodes, have been done. My SA on new businesses, his duty is to look at all kinds of proposals, because I really do not think we should throw money at people. Anyway, we don't have the money to throw at people. So you must come up with a proposal. You don't even need to write it. All we need to do is to create an interface between you, an office, or the special advisor on new businesses. Assuming you want to be a barber, there will be no point setting up a barber shop in front of a girl's hostel. His duty is to say, oh no, this barbering shop will be better at Boys Technical College. And then he takes it up there. And we set it up, we give you money, we buy the generators, we help you pay for office, blah, 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 and all of that. At the end of the day, we follow up to see how well you are doing. In agriculture, this government has also done something that is quite novel, and I think I need to mention it at this hour, despite the fact that I wasn't asked. We pioneered the poultry cluster paradigm, which Nigeria has come to copy today, where government will do all the poultry pens, do a warehouse for feeds, do a veterinary office for extension services, put borehole, put a processing plant that will take up the trade, and then put a freezer or a cold room that will take up beds that we can't sell. All you need to do is to come with your interest and your money. Interest, I mean, is commitment and desire. That, hey, I want to be a poultry farmer. Then we take you to the classroom and begin to teach you the arithmetic of poultry farming. At the end of the day, if you stay, if we see you 2 months after the first encounter, then you are serious. So we run away and go back to the Okada business. Then we will take over the chicken and make sure that we won't have 100% loss. Whenever he reappears, we'll do all the arithmetic and do the subtraction, of course, and then give him what is left. Oh, challenges there. Well, you see, I can't remember that philosopher who said that, Socrates or somebody, that the hallmark of leadership is to confront challenges and then find solutions to those challenges, and not to complain about them. Because if there were no challenges, then you don't have any essence in office. Assuming there were no challenges in Abia, then why did I run for governor? Why am I interested in being governor? Assuming everything was okay. Whenever we arrive heaven, that is the end of strife and struggle. And this place does not pretend to be heaven at all. So we made challenges. But those challenges became stepping stones for the kind of interventions we were doing. You see, I live for my friends, so, and I tell you something. I understand that what I am doing today is called to service. It is transient. It is not permanent. It will end. It is ephemeral. The purpose is to serve the people. I make a name and a mark so that I'll be remembered. That is the very essence.